Yes, fight fans, Jay's Fight Talk here, and with me today to discuss Chris Eubank Jr.'s announcement, we've got Sam from SW Fight Hub, and we've got my friend Liam Tully. How are we doing, guys?
Good, mate. Yeah, good to be on the channel. Thanks for having me.
Good. Right, straight in then. Chris Eubank Jr. made an announcement, was it yesterday, via Sky Sports News. Made an announcement, I think 12 hours prior, that he was making the announcement and to be ready, and I got my popcorn ready, and the announcement was an announcement of a hit list of potential matchups in the future. Sam, what do you think?
Well, considering Chris Eubank Jr. is 34 years old, for him to fight Canelo, Crawford, Billy Joe Saunders, you'll chuck a bit of Erislandy Lara in there for a bit of for another name, shall we? That's a hell of a lot of fights for somebody who's fought nobody called Liam since 2021. So, look, for me, it is what it is. We know what Eubank is. He's a good fighter. It just doesn't seem to be able to get negotiations over the line for whatever reason. He's joined Boxer and Sky Sports. It's a good move, really, because we know Sky gets the attention, and that's what Eubank craves. But yeah, I'm interested to see what he's actually going to do, because the Canelo fight was between him and Berlanga, wasn't it? That didn't materialize. He was favorite for the Crawford fight at one point. So, realistically, he's running out of people to actually fight. These are the people who he's rumored to fight are actually getting the gloves on and having a fight, whereas he's, doing press conferences on Sky Sports News announcing a hit list.
Yeah, it was a strange one. Liam, what's your thoughts on it, mate?
It's tiresome. Eubank Jr. is tiresome. It's not. Look at it this way: it's not the first time in his career you can sit here and go, he's just made an announcement, but actually all he's announced is a hit list that is unattainable. He's announced one fight that hasn't before since Canelo smashed his face up, and every other fighter is either just fought or is tied up in other fights. And you can't negotiate. The excuse used to be, it's having senior involved. Senior makes negotiations complicated. That's what stops Golovkin happening. That's what stops these fights happening. His dad's not been involved since we come back from into boxing after COVID. And still can't fight Crawford, can't fight Canelo. And it's always, there's not enough time. They're disrespecting me. They're not giving me what I want. At the end of the day, you're lucky to be up at the table with the likes of Canelo and Crawford. You haven't done anything on merit to deserve to be there. You are there because your surname is Eubank Jr. You're not there for any other reason. Shut up, put up, have a fight, instead of just giving us this unattainable hit list that loses in fans. I mean, he draws in a casual audience because his name's Eubank Jr., but it's pretty tough knowing when he's going to fight, who he's going to fight, and actually being able to get excited about his career.
I think that's it for me. I can't get excited anymore. When I see a Chris Eubank Jr. headline like I did yesterday, I'll pause, I'll read it, but I'm always underwhelmed. There never seems to be an end product with him. He's always flattered to deceive. He's talented. He's got a fantastic pedigree in terms of his father. He's got the name. He got 10 steps in front of anybody else with the same sort of talent that he's got. And I think for me, he's wasted it. I think for me, he's wasted the best years of his career. If he does not have a massive fight in the next 2 years, for me, Chris Eubank Jr.'s career will have done nothing other than make him a load of money. Which ultimately, that's not a bad thing. But my brother was a professional boxer, and he wanted a legacy. He wanted to leave his mark on the sport. And for me, I don't think Eubank Jr. is doing that. I think all he's doing at the minute is making a lot of noise, calling out people that... I mean, Billy Joe Saunders. Have you seen the size of Billy Joe Saunders?
Yeah, Billy Joe's not near a ring anytime soon. He's not fighting.
He's a heavyweight at the moment. If he was fighting, he's a heavyweight, isn't he?
Yeah. So for me, I mean, what do you guys think? Let's before we go, Liam, who do you see Eubank Jr. fighting in the next few months? Really? Oh, right.
Someone you're going to have to look quite far down onto BoxRec to see. Probably got possibly a fighter with an undefeated record, but it's not going to be anyone that's got any jeopardy for him. Like I can't think of anyone in the top 20 in the world right now that you're going to put him in a ring with, if I'm being really honest, because he thinks he's got that Canelo fight there next May, so he's not going to want to take any risks.
I don't think Canelo would fight him myself. I don't think there's enough interest in it for the money to be there. I don't think the Saudis are going to want to put the fight on.
I think he's holding out for May for Canelo. That's the aim for him. I think. Don't be surprised if the Conor Ben fight gets made on a Saudi card. Don't be surprised if that happens.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
That's the only way that fight happens.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'll watch it, and you know, I will watch it. But for me, Conor Ben is a 154 pounder at most. That is the highest that kid can go for me, and be competitive at an elite level.
He's a small
welterweight.
Yeah,
he's a small. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That fight. Don't get me wrong. Conor Ben could win that fight because he hits really hard, and Eubank Jr. has been stopped. I don't know who he's going to fight. I'm similar to Liam. I think they're just going to pick somebody that's potentially got a 1 or a 0 on their record and bill it as a big fight, and he'll be on either a Saudi card or they might do a box. He might get his own card. Boxer might put their own show on for him somewhere like the O2 or something like that.
Yeah, well,
I don't know, mate. I'm just disappointed. I'm disappointed.
There's one fight he mentioned on Sky yesterday.
Say again.
There's one fight he mentioned on. There was one fighter he mentioned on Sky yesterday. The only one. I mean, I pick light heavy, but he did mention and describe Ben Whittaker as being a sexy fight. For what that's worth, that would probably be one of the few names he could fight. But then what's he going to do? Drag Ben Whittaker down in weight and just be a weight bully? Like, it's the only one realistically that's going to get any interest in British fans.
Listen, Ben Whittaker can't make 168. Let me tell you. I've met the kid. He is a unit, right? I think I wouldn't say he boils down to light heavy, but he's not a super middle. Ben Whittaker's not going to come down to super middle. Absolutely not. Eubank would have to go up to light heavy for that fight. And I just don't think that fight, it doesn't do anything for me. He's got to fight a super middleweight, fight a world level super middleweight, or pack your bags and go off and play poker.
Yeah. No. Wasn't appealing by the fight at all, but it's the only name that sounded kind of credible yesterday that could, in some form.
Yeah, for me, boys, it's anticlimactic. I'm not excited by the announcement. I'm not excited by the hit list. I think he's just trying to keep his name relevant. Let's hope that, you know, Ben Shalom is working on something in the background and we get a big fight out of him, because if not, for me, I think he's wasted the best years of his career talking a good fight and not necessarily fighting the big names.
Yeah, well, Ben Shalom did have a little glimmer in his eye. I was watching an interview when he was in LA for the Crawford Madrimov card. He had a little glimmer in his eye when he was talking about what's next for Chris Eubank Jr. So unless they've got something in the locker that's just going to blow everybody out the water, which that was the way that Ben Shalom was acting. So, you know, who knows? But I guess we're going to find out. We're going to have to.
Well, fingers crossed it's a big announcement, boys, because if not, I'll be very disappointed. But anyway, thanks for coming on. I really appreciate the taking your time out to come on my channel. And I'll see you soon, boys. Thank you.
Thanks for having me, mate.
Cheers for having me, mate.